everybody. How are we doing out there today? It's so lovely to see you on this super duper fabulous Thursday. Hi, Avril. Hi, Ria. We have Angel behind the badge today, so please make sure you give Angel a huge shout out. So thank you so much for being there, Angel. And she's going to put in a couple of different crafty links of all of the stuff that we are looking at today. And Lydia did a super fabulous live on Monday, showcasing a couple of the items from the 2022 August Marvelous Monthly Release. And I am going to share a couple more of those today and hopefully give you a new technique that I'm going to say that I came up with it. I know I didn't, but it's kind of newish to me, but I'll share that with you. So hello, Sabine. Hello, Melly from Italy. I wish I was there. And from Germany. Oh gosh, I wish I was there too. So, and let's see, what are we doing today? Oh, I wanted to ask you guys, is anybody crafting this weekend? Anybody got any super awesome weekend plans? Getting in a little crafty time. I know I'm heading over to the farmer's market on Saturday, and we're gonna see what's over there. It's always a fun adventure to head over there. Hi, Dorothy. Hi, Sue. Thank you, Sue, for sharing this to Facebook. You too could be like Sue, and you could be entered to win a gift card to Altenew if you share this and let us know where you have shared this live to while we are live. And Avril, yes, crafty, always your weekend planned. Mine too. Hi, Ruthie from Florida. Hi, Dorothy. Hello, everybody. All right, so I am going to go ahead and get started. I got a couple of different things. If I get into let's hope I can get to my 2, possibly 3 projects today, but we'll see. Hi, Gabby. Good evening from Austria. And hello, everybody. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and get my camera down, and we are talking again about that 2022, that August Marvelous Monthly Release. It was fabulous. I loved everything. If you have a chance, and if you didn't catch Lydia's live on Monday, it was really, really awesome. I really loved it. Hi, Cece, and hi, Carol. Ooh, a sunflower festival and card making for the weekend. That sounds like what I would want. Throw some antiquing in there, and that's definitely what I would want to be doing. All right, so I'm going to head down to my desk, and I was afraid of this. I had a little sun issue where my sun went behind the clouds, but I swear that you guys can see that, right? I think the sun will help us. I put in like extra lights, and I just cannot, I can't do anything about that sun. So we are going to go for it. We are going to go for it. That's all right, though. We will get there. All right. So hi from Patricia from Liberty Lake, Washington, and Pauline from sunny Vancouver. And hey, Sue, how are we doing? Dorothy, thank you for sharing this live. While we are live, if you share this and let us know where you are sharing from, you will be entered to win a gift card to Altenew. So let us know. Share this around to your social media and let us know where you are sharing this from. All right, and Angel is behind the badge with us today, and I know in just a minute when the sun comes out from these clouds, we'll be doing well. And I swear I have every single light blaring in here, so I don't know what's going on. All right, thank you, Carol, for sharing this to Facebook. I really appreciate it. So we are talking the Marvelous Monthly Release. So I'm going to get these out here so Angel can start putting some links in, and I'm going to focus on this, which is the Paint-A-Flower Wood Anemone. Oh my gosh, guys. Love this. So this is this beautiful open flower, and I just like the simplicity of the leaves behind it, and it's big. I mean, it covers a card front. So I actually used artist markers with mine, and there's no dies with the Paint-A-Flowers, but you can cut them out because the images are typically pretty big. And so I just cut this out, and what we're talking about today is spotlights. And kind of fitting given my little light issues going on right now. So what I did on all my cards this month is I created this wash in the back of colors. And so this is the wood anemone. And oh, that's great, Sue, to fold a journal with lots of pages and pockets. And Carol, yes, you do want this. Thank you, Pauline. Carol, you do want these. I every single month, like that the Marvelous Monthly Releases have come out, I've been like, yeah, I need to have all of these because they're gorgeous. This one, I like crafted flowers, and I like them, but they're like, I'd rather just sit here and paint or color. My friends who know me, they would be saying the same thing. This crafted flower is, it's gorgeous. Thank you, Pauline. It's it's gorgeous. And so you end up with this great detail with it, and you can just see. So this is just using. I normally will like do kind of like some fancy things with it, but that is just with the gradient cardstock. So I'll show all that in just a second. This is I'm hoping to get to be the second card we get to. Yeah, the pretty bad. I agree with you, Dorothy. I think those washes, like those spotlights, they really give a huge. They really help to kind of pop out these flowers, and that's what I was going for this month. Thank you for getting that. My next one here, this is the Mini Delight, Like a Star. I love balloons. I love them. Wow, that one is, I gotta tell you, I swear this light. I think my camera just doesn't know what to focus on. I did another wash here on this one, and then I just stamped the background in using like a limestone ink with the light gray, and I just put this up, and so that really kind of highlights that one piece. And then this is just twine from my stash that I had that you can add that in. And that one is really super simple to make. And I like this because you can make spinners with this. You can do a lot with this Mini Delight. It's a really, really good one. And I apologize, my camera just doesn't know what to do about the light situation. It will fix itself again, I swear. Thank you so much for sharing this live, Erica. And you can be like Erica, that if you share this while we are live, you'll be entered to win a $15 gift card to Altenew. And thank you to Angel, who's putting in all of these links to these wonderful products. And thank you so much, Angel, for doing that. This is the daffodil, which I don't think I have. Yes, I do. Build a garden. Nope, this is the wrong one. This is the daffodil one, and I'm so sorry, Angel. I don't have the stamp set because I'm not going to do this one because Lydia did this one, and this one I did again with that wash. But these are massive. This is the Build a Garden. I think it's daffodil and friends. And this one is you can see they're just really really big. So I put it on a slimline cardstock because I thought that this would work really well. So that's what we're going to do today, and it's a really simple thing to do is to just get that spotlight in the background. So I'm going to grab some pieces of watercolor cardstock, and what I love about Altenew is that you can already get the watercolor cardstock cut to an A2 size. And that makes it a lot easier and simple in order to just like get up and go and just kind of mess around with what you're doing. All right, so I'm going to use, so I have two pieces here. So I'm going to make two backgrounds. And this is really like, I talked about, what are you going to do this weekend? What's your kind of your crafty weekend? And if you're in a place where you're just like, you know what, I just need to like chill and I just need to calm a little bit and I don't know what I'm doing. This is really great. You can get your paints out and you can just go. And so I have, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry again. I have the artist watercolor pan set, and I love this because it has all of these great colors. They're all by family, so instead of individual colors, it's by family. And then depending on the amount of water you add, or you can add and connect other, put these together to make your own colors. So the number of colors you have. So even though this is 24, the number of colors you have is just a ton. Yes, I agree, Sarah. And hello, I was going to say hi to you before. Thank you so much for being here. And Yvette, yes, whoop, whoop, lunchtime with Amy, yes. Yes, Dorothy, those daffodils are gorgeous. And if you could see what Lydia did with hers on Monday, if you were able to be here, oh my gosh, so awesome. And Sandra, thank you so much for sharing. And Erica, thank you for sharing. And Sarah, thank you for sharing. And Yvette, thank you for sharing this. And Susan, thank you so much. Yes. Oh my gosh, Kathy, school is starting on Tuesday. Oh, I have to actually, you're right, I have another week to go. So don't tell my boss I'm getting in as much of my summer as I possibly can. I have to tell you that. That's what I'm doing. This is the Altenew Artists watercolor brushes. And I love this because it's got its own little case. So I know where the heck they are because I tend to lose a lot of things, especially in my craft room. So I'm actually going to grab a really big round brush. I'm going to grab the 3 and 4. And I have my little candle. You know how everybody sends you that candle that you don't really want? So after I burned it, I used them as watercolor things. So I got that. And so we're going to get started. So this is really easy to do. I'm just going to grab some water, and I'm actually going to activate my pans. Now, typically when I make a wash, or a spotlight wash, I want to pick colors that are analogous. And so I'm actually going to grab some green. So let's see. This is tropical forest. I'm just activating these just to kind of get them ready to rock and roll. And there's this gorgeous teal here that's seashore. So I'm going to just activate those, just get them ready. Now on my paper, I'm going to add some water, and I don't want to put that water like everywhere because I don't want my entire paper to be saturated. All I'm looking for is a spotlight. So I'm just going to kind of start out and just moosh that water around. And by the way, that is not a word that you're going to find in the dictionary. Smoosh, smoosh is not in there. Smoosh is probably better. So I'm just kind of moving some water around, and then I'm just going to pick up some of that tropical. This is a rainforest, and I'm just going to start to move this around. And you can see this gorgeous color that's coming up. Normally, I take my colors and I like to mix them on like a palette first to see what the heck I'm doing. Oh, thanks, Anne. Saskia says hello. Oh, that's a great idea, Sarah. And that's a great idea to just get down, get some backgrounds, use, and Altenew has so much inspiration for you. So that is a wonderful idea. Now I want this to be a little bit more green, so I'm going to grab tropical forest. First, it's too brown. Let me grab some green hills. So I'm going to throw this green in. And I'm just going to add this in. You can be careful about, obviously watercolor paper can take and handle quite a bit of water, but you do want to be mindful that you don't want to add too much because it will kind of mush your paper around. That's another word. It will warp your paper up. All right, so I'm just adding a little bit of this. Now I want to blend in a little bit of that blue. So this is seashore. I love this because it's this gorgeous teal. And I'm just going to put these together. And where they match up is going to create a third color. And that's going to show where that blend is. And I'm just going to put this together. I totally end up zenning out when I'm doing this. This is a great thing for me to do if I just need like a little bit of time. I just need something to do really, really quick. That's why I was asking, who's crafting this weekend? Are you just kind of like trying to get into your craft room? Or do you have it's in the official art. Thanks, Yvette. I appreciate that. I think it is in the dictionary, or it should be. We should put moosh in there. All right, so I'm just putting this in. I just wanted a little bit more of the screen, and I'm just going to and so you can see that they're going to make this middle part. Now I know you're like, wow, Amy, good job. You made like a big mess. It looks like a kindergartner's painting. It does, and you can add more water in. And remember, the goal here. So I'm just taking some water and I'm just kind of smoothing out some of these edges. I just wanted it to be a little bit more free flowing, and I think I added just too much pigment. So I'm just kind of mooshing around. So I'm gonna you can see that we have this. So this, again, really, really quick backgrounds to do. If you want to pull off any bit of the color, you can just take your cloth and just kind of pull that off. And then you end up with this little bit of a soft background. So what's nice about these, I'll just put this in the sun. Thank you, Dorothy. I love the seashore is this beautiful teal. And it really goes with so many different things. I love it. And then I like all the green selections in here. The greens, we go from like, this very yellowy green to dark green with the green meadows, and they're just absolutely gorgeous. All right, so I'm going to set this aside to dry, and then I'm going to grab this one that I already got stuff on. But you know what's great? Paper has two sides. There you go. So on this one, I want to do a little bit more purple and blue. Again, I'm picking analogous colors. So for the first one, I picked that like teal and green because those are analogous. I'm just making sure my brushes are. So here we go. So again, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to add in some water, and I'm just going to add in my colors. All right, so here we go. So now I'm going to pick, I'm going to grab this shades of purple. Love purple. I'm in kind of a purple kick right now, as you can tell. So this one, I'm adding in color. You can see it start to move because I had more water when I started this. So that's moving around. And you can even tilt your paper to get it to move a little bit. Oh, good. Now the sun is, the camera now can figure out where to focus. All right. And then I'm going to add in, ooh, really want to put in Cool Summer Night. Should I do it? Yes, it's really dark, but it's gorgeous. Oh, look at that. Mm. All right. So this is Cool Summer Night. And so as I move this around, I'm going to start to mix them together. And they really put together, they look gorgeous together when you put them together. So you have this blue and this purple. I want to add a little bit more shades of purple just to kind of push this in here. A little bit more water. And that's all I'm doing. I'm just adding water, adding color, adding water, smooshing it around. I'm trying not to fill up the entire piece, but I want to make sure that my piece is kind of going. And it's just a little spotlight. And you can make this small, you can make it big, you can have something that kind of drags around. But that's great. And I like to just let these dry. So we're going to move on to our next little step, and then I'm going to let these dry. Oh, Kathy, in the garage. Yes, it has been, oh, this summer is like the summer of hot. I know those people down under are not, are in their winter, so they are wishing they had nice temperatures, but yeah. Um, Oh, that's a great idea. I stand up my yeah, if oh, that's a good idea, Sarah. Thank you, Sarah. That's a great idea about kind of helping to decrease the warping. I end up sometimes will stick it like under a mat or in some books. I have that. And Sue, Halloween cards. I hope you do. This is getting to be about that time. Oh, that's a great idea. Linear Life Tropical Garden. Yes, this would be. And you should try that, Susan. We'd love to see it. Altenew, if you tag Altenew, if you make anything and you tag Altenew, we are able to see it. And we also have a Facebook fan group. And then, of course, there's the Facebook group, so you can always, you can post. But if you do anything, tag Altenew, and we'd love to see that. All right, so I'm put these over to the side. And I grabbed a piece of Bristol cardstock. I'm going to do a little bit of alcohol marker coloring. So I'd love to know, what is your paper? What's your go-to paper when you do like artist marker, alcohol marker coloring? Because I feel like that's a pretty big topic that a lot of people have opinions on, I have to say. I'm moving this around because that's kind of my like, hey, things are going to get messy mat. Is my silicone mat. I love that. All right. So let me know. I'm about to do a little artist coloring. Let me know what you do for your coloring. What's the paper you like to color on? I am using a little bit of Bristol. And I'm just going to put that in here. All right, so I'm going to grab, now I'm going to end up cutting this out so it's not a super big deal. So we're playing around right now with the Paint a Flower Wood Anemone. Beautiful flower. Love this one. And it's just so nice and open. Really quick and easy to color, I found. And just because it's so open and there's not too many like nooks and crannies in there that you have to sit there and kind of figure out where the heck everything goes. But I just want to show you. Here, let me get this into shot. How big this flower is. It's lovely. It's like when you're looking for that one thing, it's so lovely how big it is. So this really fits all over your thing. Oh, Loretta, you love your Altenew paints. Me too. And I agree, Kathy. It's like finding paper, finding the right white paper is like finding the right like pair of jeans or little black dress or bikini. Do you know what I mean? It's just, it's yeah. You got to like try a ton of them before you go. So I'm stamping this because I'm going to be using alcohol markers. I am going to stamp this in permanent black ink. I could use jet black ink as well, which is a dye-based ink. And the alcohol markers are obviously alcohol. So that the water and alcohol don't mix. And so I can use that. But the permanent black ink really doesn't have any sort of smudging. I just find that sometimes I have to double stamp it to make sure that it really goes. The one ink you do not want to use, this is a no, that you do not want to use for alcohol ink marking is Obsidian because they will blend together and you will lose it. So you want to use dye-based ink or the permanent black. Thank you so much, Joanne, for sharing this. And if you are like Joanne and Jennifer and you share this live while we're live, you will be entered to win a $15 gift card to Ultimate. And Angel is behind the badge today. So again, a huge hello and thank you to Angel, who is behind the badge today. And putting in links. So if you feel so inclined and you're like, oh my gosh, I have to check out this August Marvelous monthly release, then you want to head over there. It is really, really marvelous. All right, there we go. This should do it. Sometimes I have to double stamp it. Might also mean that I need to re-ink it. I don't know. I'm just getting a good firm impression on this. I also like to let this just set and let that ink really head into the paper. There we go. All right, and I love the lines. Like it's just kind of like a simple flower. So it's just really, really pretty to take a look at. So thank you. It's an yeah, this is great. It's just a simple flower. So I really like that about it. All right, so I'm going to just take a second to clean this off. And I try to do that with the permanent black is kind of get at it right away. It will come off with the Altenew stamp cleaner, but it takes a little bit. It takes a little elbow grease on that one. So I wanted to show you what I did with this. So I did something a little bit differently because I wanted like a soft muted tone with this image, and but I wanted it to be pink, so I kind of wanted it to have like a little bit of like a pink hue to it, but I wanted it to be soft. So I'm using, or what I did is I used the tip to tip method, and the tip to tip method is where you take a marker and you just touch the tip of one marker to the tip of the other. And what I used was limestone. So this is my limestone artist marker. And I just used the pink. So this is pink time? Coral, this is coral berry. That's what I grabbed. And I just kind of used, so instead of coloring this all in pink, because then it would be bright, 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 right? And you'd have the reds and everything else. I wanted to keep this very, very muted because to me it was kind of soft. And so that's what I did is I did a tip to tip method, but instead of tipping like pink to pink to get to a different medium shade, I did gray to pink. And I was like, hey, that actually worked great. Hi, Cynthia from the Bay Area in California. Thank you so much, Kathy. And it's so nice that you guys, thanks for taking some time out of your day to join us here. It's lovely to see you. It's absolutely lovely to see you. All right. So I have to first, is anybody else on Team Glasses with me? Hello, I can't see what I'm doing unless I have glasses. Yeah, Sarah, these are nice. And I love the fact that they're in groupings. Because if you're looking to get your, if you just like want to do some coloring and you just kind of want to move on and get some coloring done, it's nice that they're all in the groupings. All right, so you can see I have Pearl Berry here and I have my limestone. So this isn't going to hurt my markers. It's not a big deal. But I'm just going to grab some of that. So they're going to mix together. And when I get to my petals, I'll start in this back one. you can see that I have the coral berry. This is my limestone, this is gray, it's what I'm using. But so you can see that you have this kind of smattering of gray. This is a little bit darker side. So I'm actually going to drop down to the lighter one, which is frosty pink. All right, so I'm going to grab some of this. Again, I'm cutting this out so I can use the side here. So you can see that there's a hint of pink in my gray. Oh yeah, thanks, Anne. Yes, definitely glasses. You gotta have glasses. I honestly can't see what I'm doing without. So I like this method because I'm getting this muted color. Because if I were to just do the pink, that's what would be going on. But I want a little bit more of a muted color than that, so I can just take my gray, and it's got a little pink in it. So that's what I'm doing. It's kind of this tip to tip method. And I don't want to go all the way up. I wanted to keep this to be a little bit soft. So I don't want to color in the entire petal. I'm just kind of like going for the idea that this is kind of there. And you can see, can you guys see that the pink is getting little like gray dots on it? But those will go away. I can just go, and then those will go away eventually if I can actually do it. Not with my left hand. But that stuff will go away. So this doesn't hurt my marker. But it just gives me, it's just another way to kind of stretch all of that stuff that we've been using, just to kind of look at it a different way. I also try to do things where, you know what, you just don't necessarily need to have everything. So you can kind of, so for Sarah, like, you know, you're starting out with these are good. Yeah, I thought about it too, because I'm like, how can I get it to be soft? And I don't want to have a gray flower. I want to have a little bit of pink in there. And then I can come in, because these are translucent, I can come in and just do a little bit of extra pink strokes if I feel like I'm not getting enough pink in there. But since I have that gray as a base, I can come in and do that. And again, I'm just trying to get it to be a little bit on the lighter side. All right, so I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to finish this up, and then I'm going to show you the leaves. And I did the same thing with the leaves, where I used that as well. Oh, thank you so much, Pauline. I appreciate it. And I agree. Remember to like. Thank you for sharing this. And if you, like Pauline, share this live while we're live, you will be entered to win a $15 gift card to Alternate Angel is behind the badge, putting in those links for us. So thank you so much and moderating. Thank you, Angel, for being there behind the badge with us today. And I would like to know, are you crafting this weekend? Are you getting your craft on? I am heading over to our farmers market. We have one every Saturday here, and I'm heading over there to see what kind of interesting things. You never know what the heck is going to be coming in at the farmers market. All right. I have to say, this is a pretty quick. To do it this way is a really quick way to get this image colored. And I'm just going to add a couple strokes of pink in here just to kind of give it a little bit of an extra color. But notice I'm not coloring, I'm just doing stroke, just a little bit. Not anything crazy. Because I already have that pink in with the gray. And I missed the petal right in here. All right. And I'd love to know, has anyone done tip to tip if this is up? Yeah, it does look that way. Is that because it's so light, Dorothy, you think? Um, no. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I think so. This one is cool. It's really worth a try. My farmers market, they have like a bunch of different things, and so there's my kids love the goat milk soap people. They sell different types of soaps. People do crafts, and they will do food trucks, and then of course the farmers with all of their wares as well. So it's super fun. Hi, Deborah. And oh, you do, Carol. Yes, Carol. Have you tried the tip to tip with like different, like in between color families like this? Really curious on that. For that one. And I saw somebody up here. And oh, Deborah, just joining. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Oh, and I saw a question. Do you find your lightest colors runner first when practicing? Yes. I have to tell you, I'm really terrible about like refilling, like you saw with my ink pad. And I have to say, I don't know how long I've had these, but I have never refilled them. And I do use the lights to blend. So those would definitely be like the inks that I would go to. This is Firefly. So this is the lightest in Green Valley, and I'm going to use the same thing. So this is the limestone. So I'm going to do the same technique that I just did with the other one to get all of these petals done. So I'm just going to grab a little bit of green. And this green, just to show you, this green is like bright, bright. So what I liked about this, let me just see if I can see it. It's in my town, and so they do it every week. When I do this, it's there's green, but around the green is gray, and I don't think that's coming out on camera super great. But that's kind of what is going on here. So I'm getting this green, but again, it's muted. And so this little method's muting it. So again, I'm using the limestone to get that green on by doing this tip to tip. And so you can see how bright that firefly should be. And this is just muting it down. And I like this for this kind of softer look. And if anytime I'm like, it's too gray, I just go over it with the regular marker, with the colored marker that I like to have. Yeah, I love the purples too, Carol. Yes. Okay. Oh, good, Dorothy. Thank you. Um, with blues and greens and yellows and reds. All right, Carol, that's cool. Yeah, I've been kind of I love the artist markers because they're really easy to do. And to be honest, I have soccer season coming up. I don't know if anybody else likes to color on the go when you're waiting for your child at whatever sporting event they are at. But the other parents now even chide me a little bit, and they're like, "Oh, Amy, where's your coloring? Do you have your coloring?" Because I'm like coloring while I'm watching my kids play soccer. So, which is kind of when they do something exciting and everybody else stands up, I can't because I have like a pile of markers on my lap. I have my little travel bag, and that's what I'm doing on here. Oh wow, you have it twice a week, Kathy? That's super great. Yes, absolutely, Sarah. Feel free to do that. Yeah, thanks, Allison. The Altenews customer service is super fabulous. And if you have any ideas for products or things that you want to see, they always take those suggestions. They're really good. And I wish our farmers market was more than one day. There's some towns that are a little bit bigger than where I live, and they do have. So this is a little bit gray, gray, gray for me. So I'm going to grab a little bit more green, and so you'll see that this will. We're going to brighten this up just a tad. I'm going to go over some of these with fluids. So if I have any leaves that I'm like, that's a little bit too gray for me, I can just quickly just add in just a little bit of green, and that will brighten that leaf right up, but still keep that muted tone. So again, I want to keep this to be light and muted. I don't want it to be too bright. So that's why I'm doing this method with the limestone. So it's kind of a tip to tip, but instead of doing it to get like a different in-between shade of two colors, I'm actually trying to mute it. And this is the lightest green in the Green Valley, but it's bright. So again, I'm just trying to get just a little bit. All right, so now I'm going to go into the middle with this. And I'm just going to do a little bit more pink along that. Yeah. But you can see how lovely and muted this is. Yeah. Thank you, Sue. And that's where I'm like, if I did this in gray, it's too gray. And if I did it in pink, it's too pink. So that's where my idea was, is like, okay, how do I combine these together? How do I get them together? So have Warm and Cozy, which I love these oranges. They are super fabulous. And the lightest in here is Sunkissed. Oh, who's just mentioning Sunkissed? Was that Sarah? About your Sunkissed. Yes. And this this is really light. Yes. Here we go. So that one is light. You can see. So I'm gonna come in and this is just gonna give it a little bit color. So I'm just going right to the anthers and just adding in color directly because this is such a light color. So I'm just kind of bopping it on there. And then for the center, I'm going to do the same thing with the limestone. Let's just come in and just kind of get this to be a little bit. I still want it to be orange, but I don't want it to be bright orange. And so that's going to come right in. And then I want this to be, it looks like I kind of didn't do much with the middle. So I'm just going to add a little bit of pink, just so it doesn't look so weird. That this middle has to be. And then this. All right, so that's my flower. So that's how I got that kind of, yeah, try it. Oh, that would be actually, you know what, Sarah? I think the gray and the purple. Oh, I don't have it with me. I have to walk across the room. I'm gonna try that right afterwards. All right, so I'm gonna cut this out. What flower stamp is this? This is the Paint a Flower Wood Anemone, and this is part of the Paint a Flower is part of the monthly Marvelous release, which is out on every 12th of every month. But if you can subscribe to these, there's 5 products within the Marvelous monthly release, and you can subscribe to any of them, and then you actually get them earlier. I think they come out on you get them on the first, and then you can preview whether you want it or not. If you're like, yeah, I don't love that, you can always skip. And then if you get it as a subscription, you actually get it to be cheaper. You actually get it to be a little bit cheaper. All right, now I am, you can see me kind of rolling and then going like wicked fast for this. And it's just because I know you guys don't want to wait to see me cut all of this out. So I'm going to cut this, but I'm not going to do the super fabulous job. And I'm hoping you guys are okay with that. But I would kind of like spend some time and go through all this. I know you're just like, oh, this is so great. I can watch Amy cut out a flower. Yeah. Oh, Sarah, do you get the mini delight? Oh, thank you so much, Cece. I appreciate that. Yes, all to do is in New York, in upstate New York, kind of near, a little bit near Buffalo, Syracuse, and they everything is out of there. Beautiful, beautiful area up in upstate New York. If you have never been, lovely woods, very pristine rivers and things like that. Really, really lovely place to be. All right, so again, do not judge me on my cutting here, everybody. I am just cutting this out. I'm going to show you what we're going to do with it. So one of the things that I like to do when I do a spotlight is, and you can see in my example right here, is I have this little band, and that is our 1/2 inch gold foil washi tape. If this is not in your stash, you want to make sure that this is in your stash. This is super good. This is super great. Oh yeah, yes. The mini delight came fast. Did you get the star, Deborah? Did you get the star for this month? It's so cute. This is I can't do this one today, but that's what I did with the star. I love that guy. He is adorable. I love the mini delights. They're always my favorite. They are delightful and they make me smile. They're always so cute, and I love playing with them. All right, so I'm just gonna cut this out fast. I'd like to get to my second card, but we will see if I get there. All right, again, no judgment. I know you guys are all nice people. I'm like, oh my gosh, she's cutting. I'm getting better. Almost past kindergarten in my cutting levels. Okay, so there's my wood anemone. So you can see how nice and, like I said, how nice and soft that is. So when we put it up with our watercolor background, which is a little bit brighter, it helps to kind of make those colors pop up. So that's what it is. Um, oh, Carol, yes. It was fun, I was there. Oh, the flamingo too, he's so cute. Oh, that's so cute, Deborah, to make the stars a rainbow. Oh, thank you, Shapara. I appreciate it. I'm so glad you can join us even though you're in the airport. So you can see that when I put this on there, it looks kind of cool, but it gets a little bit lost. And so you want something to kind of even more to just separate this from the background, because otherwise it kind of looks like a mush, like a mess in there. So by adding in a little bit of just washi tape, it's going to actually make a whole bunch of difference. I'll show you this. So I'm just going to take this washi tape. I don't always like to put it like smack dab in the middle, because I think that that kind of cuts it. So I think about the rule of thirds. So if you take your card and you're like, okay, here's a third, and here's a third, I'm actually going to put it in the lower third. And what's great about this grid mat that I have is a couple of things. So the middle part of this, if you use A2 cards, it will line up your A2 card perfectly. So you can see that this goes in here. Or if I wanted to do it portrait, I can do here. And I'm going to use it in landscape because this thing is just so big. So I'm going to grab some masking tape that I have. By the way, the ice cream truck just came by. And I agree, Sarah. It's great because you can just pass it on. You know, if you don't want it that month, that's fine. They give you kind of a preview, and you can be like, okay, I think I'm good, and you don't have to see it. All right, so I can take this down. All right, the ice cream truck just came by, guys. What would you get? Tell me. What's your? I can hear the music. I know you guys can't, but it's out there. All right, so here is our 1/2 inch. Now there's also a 1-inch gold foil tape, which is really, really super nice. And I find sometimes this doesn't, it's not always like super sticky. I don't know if it's me or where I am or whatever, but I have to add a little bit of glue to it, to the back side of it. All right, I want to know, what would you be getting? Little washi now and then is cherished by the wisest man. That's awesome, Sarah. Yes, Avril. All right, I'll send that over to you. Your ice cream and hot fudge sundae, something covered in crunchy. Yes, Dorothy. I try to use it, and I like to use it as an accent. And you'll just see when you put this in. Oh my gosh, my glue is not behaving today. When you put this in, it just kind of allows that flower to pop out. And it's just a really, really quick and easy, dirty way to do this. All right, so now I'm going to put this down. I think I'm straight. I can't stand it. I'm close to being straight. So now you can see, just by adding that little bit of washi tape, whoa, all of a sudden it pops out, right? And now it's not like all into there. So that's the great thing about it. All right, so I want to add, like, just add a little bit more punch to this. So I'm gonna just take my washi tape and I'm going to push it right around the back. And I'm just gonna grab a little bit of dry adhesive just because I'm running low on time here. And what I want to do is I actually want to beef this up a little bit because I like the way that looks, but I just want to beef it up. This is another craft staple in my craft room that I love, and that is the fine liner pen set. Oh, the green and gold. Me too, Kathy. I would have run out. I can't do that to you guys, Kathy. Honestly, right now I would be. And Vicky, thank you for sharing this to Facebook. And you have about 16 minutes. Thank you, Raina, also for sharing this. Let us know. Please share this while we're live, and you will be entered to win a $15 gift card. And this would be the thing on my list if you don't have them, is the fine liner pen set. Thanks, Rena. Thanks, Danielle. This is really, really super easy. I love these spotlight techniques. They're really fabulous. This fine liner pin set, if you haven't seen it or you don't own it, you have like, that's tiny. Like, you're like, Amy, I can't see what you're doing. Please help me. All right, so let me show you. So you have ridiculously thin. You have semi-ridiculously thin. Getting into, oh, I can use this, oh, that's a brush. I can use this as an actual pen. And then you actually have a brush. You have a brush there. So if you wanted to like, write your name, you can use this. And I do that a lot with these. They're so easy. Yes, Sarah, these are beautiful for Zentangling. And you're right, these are waterproof. You can use them with alcohol markers. You might want to check that out first. I would try that out first. All right, so now with this, I'm actually going to grab a brush. They're labeled on the top. That's what I keep looking at the top for. And I'm just going to add like a little line right below this. And all I want to do, it just adds like a little cast shadow. Just kind of beefs that up. And sometimes it's little simple things like Sarah, the Zentangling on the background of this, that would be beautiful. Do you think? I think doing that would be gorgeous. Just all these words. Here. I could have done this as just on where the watercolor part is, but I'm going to stretch this right into the tape. Right into that. Yeah, and look around at your stuff. This just makes like a little bit, just kind of helps it out just a little bit and gives it just a little edge to it and helps it define it. So now when we put this on, now you can really see that flower pop. And again, it's just a little tiny detail. It doesn't take a lot of time, but it really helps to make that pop. And so now you have this flower. It's all right there. The sentiment that I added in on this one is actually from the stamp set. These have beautiful sentiment. Yes, Sarah, I know, I'm so sorry. Color the yes, Vicky, that's a super great idea. Oh, good. Okay. Well, you have to, Sarah. Yvette, this is such a super cool flower, and again, I love like the dainty lines on it. It's absolutely gorgeous. It really is. I did copper heat embossing on here. The copper embossing powder. If you haven't seen it, oops, sorry, it's beautiful. And I know it. I know some of you are like, Amy, you used to gold washi tape, but I love mixing my metals. And so I mix that copper in with this, and it just really makes it stand out because I feel like if you use the antique gold, which would be your other choice, it would almost kind of blend in. So I feel like the copper really stood out. All right, so I'm going to put this to the side, and I have 18 minutes. So, and aren't these pens the great? Great. And yes, Sarah, it's like, oh, Danielle, thank you for liking and sharing. I really appreciate it. And it's these pens are like definitely super fabulous. All right, so I'm going to use this background, and I love this is so I'm like switching gears, so I'm completely switching. So we were just using the Painted Flower Wood Anemone stamp set to make this very muted flower using that tip to tip technique with the limestone and the pink and the green. So I'm going to switch gears, and I'm going to head over to the crafted flower. This is actually really easy to put together. And if you have the gradient cardstock, and are you ready, Angel? I'm going to pop out a couple of things. The gradient cardstock is super fabulous. I am going to show this to you. This is the new purple. And I also used the green one. I don't know where the front is. Sorry. I'm so sorry, Angel. I lost the front. It's the green one. I think it's Green Fields. These are super easy to put together because everything's all done for you. And when you're in, this is also set up to fit right on the mini blossom. And so all of those are ready to go. So on the plates of the mini blossom, these papers are ready to go, and they're just all there. So it's just kind of ready to go. And there's not a lot of pieces here, so I think I can get this done in 10 minutes. Yes, and actually, Sarah, that was going to be my question today, because as you can tell, I'm not doing a good job. I'm not doing a good job storing these, so I would love some storage tips for those of you out there with the gradient cardstock. Yes, Pauline, try it. I kind of Let's not, I didn't invent it, but I haven't seen it done anywhere, and so I'm really curious what you guys think. Try to put that gray with other colors, just to kind of mute it and see what it does. I feel like it kind of stretches all the colors. And again, I do have, must have everything, um, syndrome. I have to sometimes grab everything, but this is just a way again to kind of stretch things. All right, so I'm gonna grab my mini blossom plates, and I think all these guys fit. And what's nice is most of the crafted flowers they actually fit with the on the mini blossom. All right, so I'm gonna grab this. Oops. All right, we got this guy. You can tell what I did already. See the sheet of that guy, and one, two, where's my third one? Here he is. And this guy. So those are my three colors I'm going to pull. So that's the wisteria, the deep iris, and the ultraviolet. That Andromeda is dark, dark. It's like this ridiculous, gorgeous, dark, big plant. All right. So the nice thing about the crafted flowers is that it's numbered with what you want to do, and so I kind of just start like, okay, well my in this case I'm going to do my medium color right in this deep iris, and you can see that this will fit. And while I'm doing this or selecting the colors, you can always look and see what they choose on here for their color choices, and then it also shows you how it should be connected. So I kind of have that off to the side, and I'm looking at that as I'm making the choices for what I want to do for my color choices. I also will sometimes take these and I will use a little bit of ink just to kind of get them to, just to have like a little bit of difference with them. I do that too. And that way you can, again, stretch the stuff that you have. Oh, thanks. They are Frida. They are so done. They are like so easy to do. Again, try not to with this because it's a little bit of a spotlight thing. Try not to do like the whole side, like the whole edges of it. So these are super fabulous because they line right up, and they have these little arrows. And so the arrows line right up, and now you have the base of your flower. And I just take a little bit of glue, which is right here, and I just kind of go right around that keyhole. Why is my glue not working? Because I'm on camera. All right. If you have a little bit of glue, it works. Otherwise, take your dry adhesive, and I just go right around that keyhole. And now I'm just going to pop these together. And what's nice is there's no kind of figuring out, like, oh, which way am I doing this? Which way is it going, etc. And I can take a little bit of ink, and I can shade these out to make them a little bit different. All right, so that's 1 and 2 is done. Then I take them and I put them over to the side. Just like, okay, you already got those, Aim. And then I grab the next one, which is 3. So we're going to do this in the dark. And I'm also going to grab this one a little bit darker. This may come out a little crazy, but that's all right. You guys are with me today. Oh, all right. So now I'm just putting these on, and it's nice and easy with the mini blossom, with the pre-cut papers. Oh yeah, that's a good idea, Sarah. Somebody else said this told to do, and the color packs. And yes, Dorothy, right? They're so easy. You just add, and you never know what color to add, or you can kind of use a different, like I can use gray, some other different colors to kind of add this in. All right, so now what we have here is number 3. So now I'm going to do the same thing. I usually like to use glue, but if you use glue, it gives you a little bit of like wiggle room with it. So I'm going to use the 3, and it's going to just line, that arrow is just going to line right up. These ones that don't have an arrow, they are sometimes a little bit, you got to really kind of look and see where the heck they're going to end up. And that's, sometimes you have to kind of look. So we're going to hold that one to the side. And then this is our last one. And then we have one more. This guy's done. This. Ah, here he is. I found you. All right, now we got these two. And then we'll go through these. Yes, Deborah. I love, he's like, he lives with me. I like to like clean up after I, craft. I'm this kind of person that like likes to start with a clean slate, if you will. And so he's always, little mini blossom is always, I never put him away. He literally lives on my sheet on my desk. Oh, Cordelia, thank you so much. Thank you for sharing this to Facebook. And thank you for joining us. I'm so happy that you're here. We are playing around with Spotlight, with doing some Spotlight stuff. All right, so I'm going to show you guys. Now, this is all like little tiny pieces. So I actually end up keeping these in the die. And what I will do is I like to put some glue on them, and then I just kind of stick them all on together. So I keep those together if there's ever ones like that. So I'm going to keep that in the die. All right, so let's move this along. I'm going to push this on. All right, so I only have a couple of minutes left with you guys, but I just wanted to show you this. So this is number 5, and he's going to come right along here. And this part right here, so let's do this. There's a little section, which is this guy that I have to do, but unfortunately I couldn't find my yellow paper. So I have to cut him out. And we will. So this little guy, when you finish him, when we go on, so let me just show you this. Really super easy to put together. You can see how quickly I cut this out and kind of put him up here. And I did the same thing where I used that washi tape to allow this to pop out. So it's really super great. Dorothy, yes, you can go on the website and search for Craft-A-Flower, and then the best thing for you to do is filter it by date. So you can do newest to oldest, and that will show you when it is released. And you can always email customer service, and they should be able to give you a list. Yes, Sarah, I know the Craft-A-Flower is so super nice. And I agree. I end up with you, Dorothy. I end up they're addicting to use. And oh yes, these dies like you can see how big this Craft-A-Flower is, and this is the open peony. It's absolutely beautiful, and you can see how large this is and how much it fits a card front, and that's why I thought it would be great with this spotlight technique. And here, I just wanted to show you. This is actually the sentiment is from the August 2020 Marvelous Monthly Release, but it's from the project kit. They have the best, that kit has amazing sentiments in it. And here I did it in antique gold, so it matches that gold foil in the back. And I kind of like the copper. I wish I'd done it in the copper, but you can see how it matches and what that would look like. So, oh yeah, absolutely. It would make a cute balloon. You could just draw that stringer for a scrapbook page. I agree. So pretty. And absolutely, you should check this out, Frida. This is an absolutely gorgeous one. The Craft-A-Flowers, they're so easy to put together because it is like literally glue by numbers. And you can see how quickly I put this together for that. So we're right at 4:30. So it is, I just wanted to say, let me come on up and say, talk to you guys a little bit more. So I wanted just to say thank you so much for joining in. And a huge shout out to Angel, who is behind the badge today. And we played around with the Craft-A-Flower Open Peony a little bit. This is a beautiful Craft-A-Flower. And we also played around with the Paint-A-Flower Wood Anemone. Gorgeous, gorgeous flower. Love the lines on this. And our technique today that we were talking about is a spotlight. So using those watercolors to kind of make a spotlight, and especially when you have some huge floral images like these two, that's really all you need. And it really helps those flowers to stand out. Again, we thank you guys so much for being here. We'd love to see what you do. Please make sure you do tag us with hashtag Altanu. And we love seeing your projects because that also inspires us. So thank you. I hope that you got a little bit of inspiration. Thank you for tuning in to Amy's Inspiration Station. And I hope that you try these techniques and that, especially that tip to tip with the gray. And thank you so much for giving Altanu some time to help you craft your life. So you have a wonderful, wonderful afternoon. Thank you.